Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look. This is the Schlage 35-009 C230 key blank. This is a relatively unusual blank in the sense that you won't see people ordering it unless there's a specific purpose for it. Sure, it's a key blank. Its specific purpose is to act as any other key blank, but this C230 is a bit of one that's unusual in the sense that this is what is called a multi-section blank. If you're ordering this and not realizing what it's used for in the sense of it being a multi-section blank, I would suggest that you not just buy this blank because it may not be the right blank for your application, and I'll explain that in a minute. This is a Everest key blank. This has C230 on it. We'll show you in a picture a little bit in a moment what that looks like. The Everest logo, typical 6-pin blank, brass-coated nickel-silver blank is what this is. Typical Schlage. This is the Everest bow. They specifically created the Everest bow so that it was familiar to the original. And of course, I only have a knockoff here of the original Schlage bow. You can see that it's certainly familiar to you, and they did that intentionally. Okay, that's not a 35-100 or 101, which is the part number of a typical Schlage classic obverse keyway. C, E, C, E, F, E, F, G, F, G. 35-100 is a 5-pin, 101 is a 6-pin. So this is very similar, and it should be somewhat familiar. One thing that's nice about the larger bow and the plain on the back, lots of room to stamp something there, that's for sure. You needed to stamp something on there. Let's switch to the screen view and let's talk about exactly what this is in the sense of allow me to show you some supporting documentation that will help us understand better what it is. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now let's get back to it. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at. Let's take a look at some photographs that we have here. Here's our key blank, our Everest logo, the back side of it, C230. We'll be able to see that a little more clearly here, C230. This is showing the thumb side of the key, and then the opposite of the thumb side of the key. If you're right-handed, you're holding that key with your right hand, this would be the side opposite of where your thumb would be. Just showing you. So it's a lousy picture, but giving you an idea of what the milling profile looks like. Okay, so now, what is this C230 all about? I had said earlier that I caution you to maybe consider determining if this is the right blank. Now, down here at the bottom, you're going to see 10 keyways. These are cylinder plugs, meaning these are locks that you can get with these keyways in them, and you will not see C230 down here at all. That's because C230 is not a keyway. It's a milling on a key blank. It's a multi-section blank, which means the C230 blank is going to enter any plugs that are broached for a C123, a C234, and a C235. This might be exactly what you need. You might need a multi-section blank, but you wouldn't order a multi-section blank if you were going into one specific plug, one specific broaching. And the reasoning is it's very possible that a multi-section blank has been used because the size of the key system exceeds what can be done in a single 6-pin cylinder, which is 4,096 theoretical keys, which is 4 to the 6th power. 4 to the 6th power is 4,096. That comes from something. That comes from somewhere. Different video. The point is if you are running a multiplex system and you have C123 and C234, let's just for an example, you're gonna, and if you only need to enter the specific cylinder, don't order the C230. Order that keyway, because if there's a bitting in this keyway that has been duplicated in this keyway, even though those two keys with the same cuts will not work in the other cylinder, if you were to cut that bitting on the C230, that means you could go into both cylinders. So the example is, you've got a dorm building, 3 stories, 1, 2, 3, you need a total of 6,000 keys. You're going to end up, very likely, you're going to end up using 3 keyways for that. You take the biddings from the first floor, 2,000 cuts. You literally photocopy those pages and you recut all them on the C234, and then use the same cuts on the 3rd floor, C235. So let's say that unit 209, each building has a, there's A209, B209, and C209. A building, B building, C building. The 209 bidding will be the same on all 3 biddings. If you were to cut that on the C230, you'll be able to enter the door. That's A209, B209, C209. So you don't want to do that. You would only use a multi-section blank when you intentionally need to enter all of the possible broachings in the multiplex system. The example that we find is you have a key that you need duplicated, and the person duplicating your key duplicates it on a multi-section blank. That is a substantial security issue in the sense that it doesn't follow best practice nor established ethics, because not theoretically, absolutely that key that has been duplicated onto a multi or all section blank will work other locks that it is not intended or supposed to work. So we find that people that are not educated or in the know or intentionally doing it outside of an ethical standard, they will use multi-section blanks and cut them. You could, the classic obverse, which I said before, CE, CE, etc., you could cut everything on an L blank and it will fit all 7 of those keyways. The Schlage L multi-section blank, all section blank, which happens to be a stainless steel key. So be mindful. If you don't need a C230 and you don't know, and everything I just said is unfamiliar to you, don't buy it. Now, the other reason not to do this is because this key, the way they've made it fit these 3 plugs, is they've simply milled it thinner. They've removed parts of the key so that it does pass the small nuances in each of these broachings. So you'll want to avoid that. Also, cut sheet. Let's see what that says. Okay, same information. Talks a little bit about the Everest family. Talks about the pin kit that you would use, but also indicates what I think is called a finger pin, or a check pin. I think it's called a check pin. The Everest family has a check pin in the bottom of the cylinder, which I'll show you in a moment. This document to key blanks and quick reference guide, this is a favorite of mine. I've been using this over the years in the sense of I don't remember the part number for the key blank that I need. What's that? What is that Everest key blank again? I don't remember it, but I can find it real easy. 35009, and then of course I'm going to add my keyway. Now, below this video, as seen here, is a link to the manufacturer's page, and from here we can pull up not only all of the Schlage products we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. But the document I really want to show you is the Everest cylinder manual. This will give you an overview of all things Everest related, a history of Everest, and all things that pertain to it. Depth and spacing data will be here. The multiplex family structure is here. The key blank part numbers are here. The depth and spacing data is here, which means you could actually cut a key by hand with a file and a vise. As long as you know the root depths and the spacing, you could do that. And that's what depth and spacing data is, and it's right there for your use. Refers to the check pin that's here. That is a hallmark of the Everest. It's replacement Everest 29, and a very, very helpful document if you are working in Everest. If you're working in Everest, you will want to read this, and you'll likely want to bookmark it so you can refer back to it. Super helpful. Speaking of super helpful, let me expand on that. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Now, super helpful is absolutely a reference to the great people over at Schlage. Extreme helpful tech support every single time. I think it's a part of the culture under the Allegiant umbrella of other companies, which would include, in addition to Schlage, LCN, Von Duprin, Glenn Johnson, Ives, tech support-wise now is Zero, and there are other companies, but LCN, Schlage, Von Duprin, those are the real big names that you're going to hear from that company. Great technical support, whether it be manual, whether it be locks, mechanical hardware, mechanical, dumb door closers, automatic operators, exit devices, electrified, anything, electronic, anything, etc. Really great. Any questions on this 35009 and a C230 or any other Schlage product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.